this CT has become a big topic.
Yeah.
You know, I saw this thing the other day, an MMA junkie, about opioids in the UFC already.
Oh, it's so bad. It's everywhere.
And I started thinking about the NFL, how, you know, for years you're a player, you got to do what you got to do, you're getting $6 million a year, and every year there's a new college All-American that's coming out that's challenging your job.
Yep.
And you play hurt, and you shoot pain pills, and you shoot pain fucking solvents, and...
Yep.
You know, then you see these guys years later and they can't walk. Earl Campbell.
Yeah, you crumble your liver, you crumble everything. It's the worst stuff. You and I, we know this, you know. I had after my last fight, all my injuries that I retired for in the very first place, I didn't fight for 7 years. I thought I was completely in the clear. Everything went perfect. I felt like a maniac. I mean, literally, in a month, everybody was telling me that I was training a dude. You got a new career. This is insane. I mean, you're flying through everything. I say, yeah, this is wild, right? And then boom, your first injury came back, and that came back, and that came back, and that came back, and you know, and so and then some, you know. So I fought. I couldn't kick higher than low kicks because people said, because I stopped the guy with low kicks. They said, why didn't kick him in the head? I said, I couldn't kick higher than a low kick because I tore my groin. You know, I had a rip out. My knees, they were completely shot. I mean, everything that went wrong. I had tendonitis in both arms. I could only shadow box. I couldn't even hit a bag anymore with my arms. I was in so much pain. So it started there with a simple Norco. I remember taking 1.5 Norco on the day of the fight at 10 a.m. in the morning because it said, you know, at least 8 hours you don't have to take anything because it can affect you mentally. And I figured, you know, my fight's going to be around 9 o'clock. You know, I'm the main event. Not the co-main, actually, I thought was. And then it's out of my system, you know. But, you know, I remember the next day, take it again. And after the fight, you know, you were in pain and slowly. And then I remember a time that I wrote a number 9 with a pencil, you know, my wife uses as makeup. I put it on the mirror. I remember putting on the left corner a number 9 because I took 9 pills a day and I was not going to pass 9 pills a day. Well, those 9 pills a day became 12 pills in one time. 4 times a day, 5 times a day. So now I'm taking 48 pills a day. Now the doctor says, dude, this is so bad for you. It's all the Tylenol you're taking because, okay, there's less Tylenol in a Norco than in a Vicodin, but it's still really bad. You're going to have to switch to OxyContin. Okay, doc, you know, idiot that I am. And then an OxyContin. An OxyContin is that's pharmaceutical heroin. You know, and then you realize, and I had this problem that I went to, I believe it was Ohio or something, and I measured all the pill out, and I had a 5-hour delay. I ran out of pills. And let me tell you, that's when I realized I'm addicted. You know, I was on the plane shaking. I couldn't eat, sweating, cold sweats, goosebumps all over the place. And I go, I got to kick this stuff. And then I start kicking it. Then I did it the wrong way I did it with the suboxone. And suboxone is kind of the rich man's methadone, right? That you get from the doctor. But what you should do officially, you should build that up you can use it 2 weeks. And after 2 weeks, you should stop that. My doctor said, no, it's good. It still works for the pain. And you only can take less. So if you start with a whole pill, you can literally go to 3/4. You can go to a half. You can actually build off instead of going up all the time with the pain pill. So I figured, you know, I believe the doctor and I do that. But then I was on for that for 3 years. And you should Google what happens to people who are on that for 3 years. Because once I start... hearing it, I heard Dr. Drew was talking about it on the radio, and I go, what? And then I start Googling it. Finally, after 3 years, I start Googling what I'm taking. The idiot, you know, and it's so bad. It got in my bones. It took me 11 days to kick that.
So you were supposed to take it for 2 weeks?
For 2 weeks, because if you wean it over 2 weeks, you don't have any side effects.
And you took it for 3 years?
I did it for 3 years, so it gets into your bones, and it gets little double vision, sweating, heart rate is like 95 in bed. You can't pee, you can't go to the restroom, you can't, I mean, I wrote a whole list of side effects that it had, and I said, I got to stop this crap. So then finally I stopped it. I tried cold turkey, didn't work, you know, because my daughter, I was 5 days in, I was like freaking out. It's really hard. Like people say that it's way harder to kick than actually OxyContin by itself. It's way harder to kick the suboxone. So then my daughter had a party that weekend, and I said, okay, I'm going to have to take it again. I mean, otherwise, there's no way I can help you. To my wife, we had 70 kids coming. So I took it again, felt good right away again. And then I said, okay, now I'm going to build it down. Literally go to a quarter, then a third from that quarter, and, you know, slowly but surely down. Then once every day, a little tiny crumb under your tongue. And then slowly, okay, then I stopped, and then 11 days. Those 11 days... Dude, hell. You know what my testosterone level was? They've never seen anything. It was 5. So not 500. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The doctor showed it to another doctor, and they're both freaking out. They say, "What? How can you come out of bed? How you get out of bed? I said, I'm really tired. I don't want to go out of bed, but I have to. I just force myself, drinking coffee, and once I'm going, I'm going. He said, dude, women have 60. You have 5. Yeah, people don't go to work anymore. They stay in bed. It's amazing that you still come out of bed. How's your sex drive? I said, that's gone, And that's the moment that I stopped doing all that crap. And once that comes back, oh man, you're like freaking Superman. No, like I explained it like the bad guy. Michael Shannon, who played the bad guy from Krypton, mate?
Right.
He came here and he took his helmet off, and then he heard everything, all the people, all the sounds he heard, because he was not used to that. That's exactly when he came over that stuff. Like shades, I had to wear everything. This would be way too bright light for I was crazy. Your senses are so out of control because they're not stomped away
So
anymore.
what's the name of that?
Suboxone.
So how does it compare to like methadone?
It's the same stuff, It's
then you're in a bad name.
yeah. So it's just what they call the rich. That's how I heard on Dr. Drew. He says the rich man's methadone, and I go, what did he say? And then I came home, started Googling. That's when I realized I should have stopped in it with 2 weeks. So yeah, I have so many people who email me, and I have a whole piece now written out that I literally can copy and paste, because you do that 5 times, you go like, I should save this because more people are going to ask me the same question. So now I have it all written out that I only have to copy and paste, and right away if somebody has a problem, and now fortunately we have CBD, right? If you use good CBD with a little tiny bit, like 0.3% or 0.5% THC, it really helps you to calm down. Like a pain pill, if you take 3 pain pills a day, let's say, if you take CBD, you only have to take 1 because it will enhance it. So it's an easier way to build up. A lot of these facilities where you can detox are actually using CBD right now to bring it down. Marijuana as well, by the way.
It's funny because CBD does calm me down.
Yeah.
Somebody told me if you take an edible and it's out of control, I have emergency CBD in my drawer. Like in case you take an edible or something, the CBD calms you down.
Oh, really? Oh, that's
and I
good.
know at night for a fact that the nights that I put CBD under my tongue takes about an hour.
Yeah.
But I'll fall asleep really good.
It's nice to relax.
Just takes about an hour.
Yeah.
You don't get high. I get the 1%.
You know what I do? I eat something. I take the CBD, I wait 10 minutes and just eat 1 or 2 slices of bread. And then it will go into your system right away. It's a better way of doing it because sometimes an edible can show up 2 hours later, right? But if you eat with it like 10 minutes later, it'll pretty much within 10, 15 minutes, it's on.
Yeah, I don't need edibles no more, but I like the CBD without it. They say you have to have a little bit of THC
To
in
activate it.
To activate
Yep.
it, for it to take it to where the pain is and stuff. So I get a small percentage now because I think it was starting to get me sick, the edibles.
Oh, I believe it. I can do edibles. If I do edibles, it affects me the next day. I literally use, but people don't believe. I buy a vape pen. I can literally do 2.5 or 3 months with that. People go, there's no way. I literally go about 4 seconds. I put it, not even till it starts blinking, and I'm gone. And I only do it once a day. So, but if I would do it during the day, if I'm at a party or something and I don't want to drink, and I take a little a zip, just not to drink, and then at night I want to go to sleep, I need more. But if I don't do that, I only need 1 time a day, like 3 or 4 second drag. That's it. And I sleep perfect. I'm feeling great. No headache, no nothing. It's the best. All the pain is gone. It's really an amazing
You don't
product.
smoke weed no more.
No, I do. I do at night also. Like I take the flower, I do that. But also, very little amounts I do. For me, I only want to calm down, and I tell myself, you don't need to go out of control. Just calm yourself down and feel my legs. My legs, I have this great feeling, and some of my friends have it too, but most have not. Like it starts glowing. It's literally and it's such a good feeling. Like my legs hurt a lot. But at night, and I only do it once I'm in bed. So you won't see me walking around the house. And no, I lay in bed. That's when I take my little zip. I lay down, and literally, I think 25 minutes I'm out. Feeling great.
I'll never forget years ago. This had to be 10, 11 years ago when people were talking about the benefits of marijuana. I got a toothache over the holidays. I needed a root canal over the holidays, and nobody was open. And I didn't have Vicodin. I was taking pain pills, whatever the fuck, Advil. And one night the pain woke me up. And I go, let me see if this marijuana shit works. And I smoked a bunch of pot. I smoked a joint at like 3 in the morning.
You're sold.
And it was so weird that I got so high and I started writing. that I forgot about the pain.
Yep.
And I said, this really works. And now my wife is on the fence. After 18 years of being with her, she went to a kids' party Saturday night at the martial arts school.
Yeah. She
took Mercy to watch a movie over there. And the owner and the wife and a bunch of the moms went outside and went to smoke. And she told me, she goes, you know, the guy smokes. And I go, come on, that guy's fucking straight as an arrow. She goes, no.
Bruce Lee smoked, man.
He was having pain. And he got off the pain pills and started smoking blunts. And his pain went away, so he's been smoking blunts at night. And so my wife is considering.
And she should be.
At night after Mercy falls asleep.
Listen, we know this, you know, and your listeners probably know this as well. It's just labeled a drug because of alcohol came out at the time. Before the government labeled it as a drug, it has always been medicine. I have a priest that I know. I'm a Catholic, and he said, no, absolutely, you can use it if you use it for your pain. Yeah, if you all day long start smoking, lay on bed, you don't do anything non-productive. Yeah, you don't live a productive life. They wouldn't be okay with that. But God invented that plant for a reason, and it is to help people. But just the government, they realized, wait a minute, we got alcohol now, we can tax that. It's very hard to tax the weed though, because people can grow it themselves. Oh, let's make it a drug. And they labeled it a drug, and boom. It's funny on the website now on the government, all the things like gateway drug and all that stuff that they wrote, it's all off now. Because now the truth came out. Now they have to literally take that off because it's not true. You want to hear the gateway drug? Alcohol. Alcohol is the gateway drug. I know that all the crap, all the real bad stuff I did, you know, and it's not never to other people, but to myself, right? It starts with alcohol because that lowers your level. You go, oh yeah, that's actually a smarter thing to do. I can do it right now, which you would so would
we
never
should
do.
Do a survey. What'd you drink? What'd you do first? Smoke a joint or drink a bottle of Boone's Farm? And I guarantee it's 70-30.
Yeah.
70-30, because that's what I did. I drank Boone's Farm first. But I knew at the age of 3, 4, 5, I didn't like drinking. I drank a bottle of red wine when I was 3. At the age of
3, 4, 5.
My mom owned a bar. So to put me to sleep, she dipped my fucking pacifier in blackberry brandy.
Oh, in Holland they did that with a sugar cube.
My mother was a savage when I was a kid.
Yeah, in Holland they put a little like that on a sugar cube and they gave it to the kid
so
to go to sleep.
I saw her drinking this red wine, Italian, and she put it on top of the refrigerator. And I don't remember this. I waited for her to go to sleep, and I drank the bottle of wine like Vito Corleone. She woke up 3 hours later. I was missing. She called the cops. The cops found me in the closet, shit, diarrhea, puke. God.
Oh, yeah.
And I never drank again. So drinking was not on my agenda. Well, when I was like 7, I saw all these kids smoking. One night I borrowed a Now cigarette. Do you remember years ago there was cigarettes called Now?
Now.
They came red, green, and whatever. I remember I took 2 hits of it. And in the bathroom in my house, there was like an ironing board in the bathroom. And one of those things that you scrub with.
Yeah.
And I remember that I was making believe I was shitting. My mother was in the kitchen, and here I am smoking a cigarette in the bathroom like at 7. And I took 2 hits of the cigarette, and I started getting dizzy as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
And I put the cigarette on top of a piece of wood, and I left it there.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like, who the fuck was smoking? I have no idea. I'm puking and shit. So I was away from all that.
Yeah.
But the first thing I did, even though I was exposed to marijuana, was drink.
Yeah.
I drank for a while, and they didn't agree with me.
Yeah, no, I have to. The drinking is, always. I'm a happy guy if I drink. So at least I have that, and I want to have fun with everybody. But it's just, being drunk, running around the house, it's just not a good thing. And that thankfully I got out of my system really fast. Well, really fast. Well, people know all the stories, right? There's been a lot of crazy stories, but that was drinking. Fighting keeps you in line. That's the great thing about fighting. You do after a fight. You go 2-3 days crazy, and then you have to train again for the next fight. I mean, I fought in Japan from 93, let's say, to 97, 4 years. I fought like 30 fights. That's a lot of fights, You fight, first year I fought 8.
7 or 8?
Oh, yeah, no, I fought first year, 9 fights, I think. I had a really high schedule.
And that was MMA.
That was MMA, but at least it was in pancreas, so we had the shoes with the shin protection, the open hand to the face and closed fist to the body, but, that it was just a great way for me to keep myself in check. It's very hard also for the fighters when they stop fighting because you don't have that high anymore. Like if you knock somebody out, it's like a hole in one, for golf, I assume. You're there, people go nuts. It's a feeling that you start really enjoying. And if that suddenly be taken away, you start trying to replace that with something. And most of the time with fighters, that's drugs or booze. Like Pat Miletich is very smart about it. He just picked another crazy thing up. He's chasing tornadoes. He says, because I know if I do not do that, it's probably going to be drinking or something like that, So he uses that to get that same high back. And with me at the time, I was drinking. That's why actually I took the last fight in 2006 because I was drinking pretty heavy. And I looked at my wife and said, you know what, I'm going to take the fight. Because if I take the fight, I can't drink anymore. I quit drinking. So that's what I did. And from that moment on, it was all good. Now I don't, I got a little out of hand like a couple of weeks ago. And that was the first time I think I was drunk in over a year.
If it's 2 PM and you ain't high, go fuck yourself. Get out of my face. I want you around me like I want cancer in my ball sack. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna come around here looking at me with your fucking wide eyes, thinking that I'm gonna reform. Go fuck yourself. My morning starts at 5:30 a.m. Either you're there or you're square. You know what I'm saying?